How's it going, boys? Johnny Superbman here, and I'm finally bringing you guys the series that everybody's been asking for. I know I said I was going to do this back in September, October. I never got around to it, but now, since the new channel is up, starting new series, all types of new videos, it's a perfect time to introduce Questions with Superbman. That's right, boys. Now, this is the first video, so I don't actually have any, well, I have questions. I have plenty of questions in my memory bank, pretty much, but what we want to do for this is I'll put your YouTube name, your name, whatever you guys want to be known as. I'll put the question, comment down below, the highest rated comments I'll answer, but I want good questions, boys. I don't want one-word answer questions like, how old are you? Well, I'll just give you my age. I want questions like, Johnny, what's your opinion on the new NHL rules? What's your opinions on headshots? Your opinion questions. I can get a lot more mileage out of that, and that way it'll spark conversation from you guys as well, okay? So questions like that. But in this video, and also actually, what I'm going to show in the background, I'm not going to commentate on anything in the background, but you guys know how I've always wanted to do versus gameplay, but I can never commentate over it just because it's boring to me. Well, now I can do versus online games, have it on in the background, don't commentate on that exactly, but just answer your guys' questions. Or I can have, like in this case right now, this is not a versus game, this is one of our OTP Hockey Night games. This was back from January 3rd, that same night where it was horrible, but this was actually one of those good games, okay? So again, I'm not going to commentate on the game whatsoever. Let's get right into some questions that have been popping up since I basically started the account, alright? First, we'll start off, Johnny, what equipment do you use to make videos? Alright, we're getting a lot of messages from people, you know, new YouTubers trying to start up their own YouTube channels. That's great, that's great. I'm going to make a setup video to show you guys exactly like the PC requirements and all the hardware. Basically, off the top of my head, I use Sony Vegas for all the editing, right? You know, you record through Sony Vegas. I have a Blackmagic high definition video card or something like that, and that's how I record it. Basically, I have my Xbox plugged into an HD cable, which is plugged into my computer. All right, I record through Vegas, and then that way I can open it in Vegas, and I go from there. Vegas has all the editing tools. I also use Acid for any, not actual Acid, the program Acid. I actually use the program Acid for any audio. So me and Domsky, and everyone asks what Domsky does for the channel. That's what he's great at, using Vegas, using Acid, right? He's a computer hardware kind of guy, so that's what Domsky primarily does. But he's actually going to be starting up his own series soon. Don't quote me on that. We're still going to figure it out, but we got to get Domsky more into the channel because I know you guys love seeing his first-person shooter gameplays because he's so much better than me at first person. So we're definitely going to have to get Domsky in there. So that's what we'd use to record basically. Another question is basically who's your favorite hockey player growing up of all time? There's been a lot, boys, but I know this is going to sound biased, but it's got to be Matt Sundin. Yeah, he's a super Swede. He was the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'd want to say Doug Gilmour and Wendell Clark as well, but they were playing in Toronto kind of before the time I really started watching hockey. It was Matt Sundin, Alexander McGillney, Curtis Joseph, Thomas Carberlay, Brian McCabe, that crew, which I really started to fall in love with. So I got to give it to Matt Sundin because he was, oh my God, just such a perfect center. And he's obviously not perfect, but he's a big body, right? So he's impossible to move. He could win face-offs. He could kill penalties, right? He had a scoring touch. He could skate so fast. He could body check. He didn't take penalties, all right? And he was so smart. Like, right now, we got Phil Kessel. And arguably, we haven't had a player like Phil Kessel since Alexander McGillney. You guys remember McGillney. But McGillney had Matt Sundin to work with, okay? A solid tower there at the center of the ice who was one of the smartest players out there. He's got his big frame, and he's just gifted. He's skilled as well. Phil Kessel doesn't have that. But could you imagine if Phil Kessel had a Matt Sundin? My goodness. Like, oh, anybody who hasn't seen Matt Sundin play, I like, YouTube wasn't really big back. I'm sure you could find some replays of Matt Sundin, but just an outstanding player. Any Super Swedes who got to watch him play for your international team when you won the gold back in 2006, you know. Vancouver fans, you didn't get to see the best of him. You guys were expecting the world when you got him. He was in the twilight of his career. He was over. But when he was in his prime, man, oh my goodness gracious. So that would have to be my favorite NHL player of all time. Matt Sundin, Captain Super Swede for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dion Phaneuf, you got a long way to go, buddy. You got a long way to go. Excuse me. Now, I'll do one more question, and this question has popped up a lot recently, and it's, Johnny, why have you changed channels? I didn't have to change channels. I've seen a lot of people unsubscribing from my other channel, which is fine, you know, because if you're just interested in the commentaries, yes, this is the channel you want to be on. But you also have to realize I'm going to still be making videos on that other channel. They're just going to be over-the-top music videos. Not music videos, but like if we have another OTP hockey night, what I'm going to do now is, yeah, I'm still going to have the top 10 countdown, but what I want to do for you guys is, say one of you guys has an outstanding play where for 4 seconds you deke out 3 guys and you score a goal. Or as a goaltender, you just make an absolutely outstanding save. What I'll do is, I'll clip that up, and you guys have seen how when I score like a free kick from the neutral zone, or when Kryptonite got that free kick goal from the neutral zone, I put David Beckham commentary over it. What I want to do that for you guys as well. When you guys get highlights, I'll put some crazy music over it or some crazy commentary, but that highlight will go up on 2BC Productions because I can't put that up on this channel because of the copyright, right? So don't unsubscribe from the other one unless you only want to see commentaries or only want to hear commentaries, because all the commentaries, all the questions are going to come from this channel. But if you like to see funny highlights, if you're into OTP Hockey Nights and you get a good highlight, you definitely want to stay subscribed to the other one, all right? 2 channels, 2 times the entertainment. Actually, no, it won't be 2 times. Same amount of entertainment, but just now I can distinguish between a montage and a commentary, basically. That's all, that's all. So boys, this was the inaugural video for questions with Superbman, alright? I'm going to use these videos to look for questions, so put your question down in the comments. I may also answer questions just from personal messages, because if a lot of people send the same question, that's what I'll do, kind of like the setup. But I'll use the comments in these videos to go by questions in the future. So remember, don't use one-word questions. Yeah, I'll answer them, but I'd rather a question that lets me go on to talk for 2-3 minutes, spark opinion, spark conversation for you guys, all right? So give me some good questions, boys, all right? And versus gameplay and more OTP Hockey Night gameplay in the background just for you guys, all right? So I hope this was what you guys wanted, and the next questions with Superbman, maybe next week, maybe twice a week, but I think for now we'll keep it to once a week, all right, boys? All right, for Johnny Superbman and the Great Domsky, take it easy, boys.